to our podcast.
I'm April.
And I'm Danielle.
You can find me at LucyLinks19 on Instagram, and on Ravelry I'm also LucyLinks.
And I am Xochi Knits on Instagram and Tahoe Girl on Ravelry.
All of our information will be listed in the notes down below.
So April, how did our first podcast go?
I think it went really, really well. I was super shocked, and I want to thank like 4,000 people for watching our video. Like, thank you so much.
I cannot believe. Honestly,
I'm shocked.
Like, I was gonna feel like we were such a success if we had 100 people. So I'm super thankful to every single person who watched our video. So if you want to like and subscribe so we can make this a thing we're doing.
Yeah.
So we also have a new name, right?
Yes. We were having a really hard time coming up with a name. My nephew, Danielle's oldest son, had suggested SuperKnitters, which we now know is a working title. So we have a name change.
Yeah, so our new name is going to be Nitpicking with April and Danielle. One of my coworkers actually watched the video, and he suggested that name, and it's perfect because we're knitters. I'm kind of a nitpicker. We're going to do some nitpicking today, and it's a play on words. It's just fun. We're not intending to tear anybody down. Started on whips or foes?
I'll do foes because I have more of those.
FO stands for finished object. So for anyone who doesn't know some of the slang we're throwing around, that's what it stands for.
Nothing is blocked because I've not been home. We'll share more information about that at the end. I have a bunch of stuff that's finished. So my first item is this really beautiful shawl.
Is this like a linen or a...
This is a 100% cotton tape yarn, and I've never worked with anything like this before. This is called it'bE. It was in the Laura Nelkin larger subscription box to end club. This was a 100% cotton Dando yarn, which I had never worked with before, and I think it's beautiful. She has this really great lace pattern, which was very easy once I kind of got the hang of it. And I think it's going to look great once I block it out.
And so did the beads come with it?
Yes, everything comes with it except the needles.
And was this a bead with a crochet hook as you go, or was this a pre-strung bead situation?
So I use a beetle needle for my bead placement, but you can also use a crochet hook or a dental flosser, which Laura also includes in her kits.
Yeah. It's really interesting, and it hasn't even been washed yet, and it's really soft.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot crispier.
Yeah.
For not only being a tape yarn, but also being 100% cotton, but I expect it to get a lot softer.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
I'll post some pictures once this is blocked because I think it's gonna really help it bloom.
So I'll go ahead and do one of my whips since I don't have any FOs.
Okay.
So my first whip has, well, it's kind of an FO. It's a hoe. So it is a half finished object. I finished my Hong Kong sock by Mina Phillip, and this is as far as I got. I do have to say, the toe is my favorite part. I love the colors of the toe, just the way the yarn worked right there. Super
really
duper happy. I'm tempted to buy another skein of this. I might see if they have a different colorway because I just love the colors of the toe. So I have one finished Hong Kong sock. It is by the Knitting Expat. I believe I probably knit a 64 stitch, whatever size she offered, and I did it on 2.25 millimeter needles, and I used the Queensland Collection Perth sock yarn in Rainbow Reef, and I got that at Lofty Blues in Placerville. And they're part of the Sierra Nevada Yarn Crawl, and we'll be going back there next month.
My next finished object is another End Club item. This shawl, I'm not quite sure which is the right side here. this is the right side. So this shawl is from the N Club once again. It is also a beaded design. It is not blocked. Again, it's going to be
so
super
pretty.
Beautiful, and I think it's going to grow quite a bit.
Yeah. When did you work on this? I haven't seen it at all.
I did this over the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
This is a yarn by Anzula, which I believe is a local California company out of Fresno. And it is a 50-50 baby camel and mulberry silk yarn, and it is like divine to touch, and it hasn't even been washed. So I think once this gets some like wool wash or some yarn wash on it and it like grows out, it's gonna be like a go-to for me. And something that I really, really like about Laura's clubs is that she does not give you a choice of the colors. And for anybody who knows me, like if I have a choice, it's gonna be gray, black, or purple. Like I'm a walking bruise. So I love this color blue. I really love the little teal color that was in the other shawls. So that's a really great thing for me with the shawl clubs is I get new colors.
Yeah, and totally out of your comfort zone because I know you would never have picked this one out.
And again, I'll post a picture of this blocked as well.
It is so soft. It is so soft, and the beads are pretty subtle. They match really well, but it's gonna look so beautiful when you're done.
Yeah,
well, I mean with the blocking.
My husband said this looked like a stegosaurus when I was working on the cast off because I had it like the other way with the little like teeth scales, and I'll post a picture of that too, like somewhere over here so you can see like he calls this the stegosaurus shawl now.
I am still working away on my crochet granny cardigan. I have made some significant progress.
Oh,
Last time we talked, I had not done the edging on any of these. So now I have 19 finished 5-round
really
granny squares. And so I am using Lion Brand Nuboo, and it's the Granny Square Cardigan by Caitlin Bartold. And so I have 19 of these done, and the way I did it is I did all the centers, and then I did the next color of all the centers. So every single one of these is a kind of salmon color center. So I have all 19 that I need to do of that. And so now I have moved on to finishing the granny squares of the purple centers. So I now have 19 or maybe 20 of the purple ones. So you can see this one's currently a 3-row granny. I need to add one more, and then just like these, the edging color is going to be this buff color because that's the color that you seam it together and kind of brings it all together. And I'm going to do every single square and sew in the ends and everything. Oh, by the way, every single one of these I sewed in every single end.
No loose ends.
Yeah, no loose ends here. I sewed in every single end. So I'm going to do all of them, sew in all the ends, and then I'm literally going to put them in a bag and randomly pull them out to seam them together so it is truly random.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I could see like agonizing for hours over like what's gonna go next. Oh, I can't have one with a purple center touching another one with a purple center because that would just be too much purple, or I don't know. I would get crazy about it. So I'm going to put them in a bag and just blindly draw and then go ahead and seam that one together and then the next one. Yeah, it's really silky, and I was really worried about sewing in the ends, I just did it. So I did one a night because that's really all I could handle because it's not the most enjoyable thing. So what I would do is I would knit the last round of the granny square and then sew in the end. I hadn't sewn in any of the ends, so I sewed in the end for the entire granny square, and that took me about a half hour. So I did one a night. I've got 19 done. I'm in the process of working on all of these that are the purple centered ones, and I'm just gonna keep going, right? I'm gonna do all of the rounds, so I'll have 4 rounds for each of these, and then I'll come back and do the buff color to tie it all together.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I thought that it's like, oh, I'll get it done by Christmas. We'll see. Maybe Easter. It's
appropriate colors for Easter.
Yeah, I think it's just like appropriate for any day because it's not a white. It's, you know, I don't know what it shows up looking like on screen, but it's a grayish white. And then, you know, there's some darker colors with the purple and the blue, and then there's some more summer colors with like the salmon.
Sleeve?
It is about a 3/4 length sleeve, and it's cropped, but all of the sizes are the same length of sleeve and the same length of the same length of the body. And she specifically said that it's on a 6 foot tall model. So I am 5'4", and so it'll probably be more like hip length, which is fine. And there's no closure, so it's an open. It's not like I'm going to be needing it to cover anything. Right. I'm always going to wear something under it.
Right,
so.
And you could wear like a long sleeve or even a tank top.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like it's crochet, so it'll be heavy enough to provide like some warmth just because there's so much fabric. Right. But because it's bamboo, I'll be able to get away with it in a warmer month too, because it doesn't feel warm against your skin in the same way wool does. Right. So, yeah, it is a labor of love. You'll be seeing it again.
So for my final finished object, I have 3 pairs of socks here.
That was clapping, even though I had my notebook.
I believe I showed these last time as a work in progress. So these little Christmas guys are ready. Again, they're not blocked or washed. I don't really block socks. They're not washed or the ends woven in on this guy. So that's got to happen. But I'm really excited about these. And I feel like with the colors, they're not strictly Christmas, but who knows? We'll see.
That is one of my favorite Christmas yarns. I have socks made out of that, and I wear them regularly. Yeah.
And then these guys, I cannot remember if I showed, but it's the same pattern. I think I just did a 64 stitch sock with, I doubled the stitch count to get a little ruffly top. And I just worked with what I had for the yarn, so they're not like identical twins, they're fraternal twins.
Yeah, you haven't shown those. So I recognize, because some of that yarn, I think most of it I gave you. What's this yarn on the top?
So this yarn on the top is from Leading Men Fiber Arts. It was extra yarn that I had from a brioche sock a beaded brioche sock from Laura Nelkin.
Okay.
And those I will post a picture of. And yeah, I think the colorful like top really goes well with these fun, vibrant colors, which again, I would never have picked, but Danielle put them in my advent calendar, so I needed to use them.
Well, and I like the way you have the teal at the very top. So I am fine with scrappy mismatched socks, but if you wore them with sneakers, you wouldn't even be able to tell either, right? Because you'd have just a little bit of teal and then the ruffle coming out of the top.
And I really love this like fluorescent yellow. Maybe that was from the 100 Hearts kits that we bought at the yarn crawl.
Because I don't remember if I gave you yellow, but that is definitely from the Tahoe girl.
Yes. She will be linked down below or somewhere on the screen.
Electric Love, I think.
Yes, Electric Love. Yeah, she does some really beautiful colorways, and that was
especially the neons.
That was a kit that she had at the yarn crawl, and this was extra yarn that I had from that. Yeah. And the final pair, I know I showed these last time. These are the Hong Kong socks from Around the World in 8 Socks from Knitting Expat, and I think they turned out pretty great.
Yeah, I think they're really pretty. Let's go ahead and stretch out the pattern so they can see. What size did you knit? Do you know?
I did a 64 stitch on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, top down, and this is Mountain Colors yarn, and I can't remember the colorway.
And it's a little bit not as soft, but I prefer a hardier sock yarn because goodness, merino pills when you wear it as socks, when you actually wear it in shoes.
Well, and that's why I made these a little bit longer, since this was like a hardier yarn. I could see myself wearing these with like boots or, you know, heels or something with like a bit of a higher top. So I thought they would be good for that.
Well, and like I wear my wool socks. we can talk about this at another time, but I probably have 30 pairs. And I wear them all winter with boots, with shoes, with whatever I'm wearing.
You can see us picking out my hairs, because my hair is really long and I always probably knit like at least 10 hairs per item. So that's my free love to whomever receives a knitted item from me. You get a little piece of me literally inside.
Go ahead and show another whip. This is, I have all the same 4 projects, so good job me.
Yeah, that was your goal, right?
Yeah, I didn't cast anything new on, and I've made some substantial progress. So, oh, and I got a mask in my bag. So this is the Meadowland Baby Afghan, and I am going to become a really good podcaster, and I'm going to put a progress keeper in this as soon as we are done, because I am not sure where I was last time. I know I was somewhere in this pink and white triangle. So it is the Meadowland Baby Afghan by Irina Holudneka. I'm sorry. And it's a free pattern on the Lion Brand website, and I am using 2 balls of Lion Brand Mandala. So this is the unicorn colorway and this is the wizard colorway. So I have done this one was with the unicorn and wizard, and then this was unicorn, and then the one I'm currently working on is unicorn wizard. And so when I finish this square or triangle that's not here yet, this one right here, this will be unicorn, and then I'm probably gonna do the edging in unicorn, because I bought 2 balls of unicorn and 1 ball of wizard, and whatever I have left over of wizard, I'm gonna make a hat out of. It's not gonna be a baby hat to go with it. I actually have specific plans for a hat I want to make, because I think I'm gonna run out probably when I get to the purple, and then hopefully it'll be a really cool fade from the purple to the navy to the green to the yellow. And that's so fun. I'm actually gonna make, is it okay if I talk about it now?
Sure.
So with the remains of this that has that gold color, I am gonna make the Winter Garden hat. And I believe that's by Faye Kennington. It is on the Knitrino app. And so I bought the pattern and knit one in a different gradient, but this one is so fun. And I'm gonna start and have the yellow at the top, because I don't want to wear this color yellow near my face. I have a yellow undertone to my skin, so if I wear that kind of golden color, I look like I have jaundice. So I choose not to wear that near my face, but if it was at the top of the hat, I could see it being really cute, and I'll probably give it away. But also, if they have coloring like me, then they can wear the yellow at the top of their head and still look good.
It'll be more complimentary.
Yes.
Definitely. Works in progress. I'm trying to be along the same lines as Danielle and not overwhelm myself. I am going to do a vlog, and I'm going to do a very comprehensive list of all my works in progress, so you guys can see how my brain works and how I'm doing like 10,000 things at once. So my goal is to try to whittle that down, like make with more intention, and have a more limited number of things, especially since I do lots of other things in my life too.
Yeah.
So my first project here is something that I've been working on. Well, I guess it was just like hanging out in my yarn bin for like 2 years.
That purple is the most perfect shade of violet.
And the reason I didn't work on this for so long is because I had started with this color down here. It's called Dirty Panther. It's a Madeline Tosh yarn. It's got stellina in it, and it's super beautiful. I had originally bought like kind of fluorescent blue. I think you were with me when I bought it.
Oh yeah, and then you were maybe gonna make...
I was maybe gonna make socks out of it. I ended up making a shirt out of it. I'll post a picture here. I made a shirt with like crazy rainbow mohair arms, which...
And didn't it have big... It had a peplum, right?
I don't know if it had a peplum, but it had bishop sleeves.
Okay.
But I used that second yarn, so then I needed to find something here, and Madeline Tosh is like stocked at our local Jimmy Beans, and so I went in there, and if you've ever been to Jimmy Beans, it's super overwhelming, and so I knew I wanted a purple or a blue color, because as I said, that's my jam. And I spent a lot of time in there. I probably spent like 45 minutes, and this was during quarantine, so I had to like schedule an appointment and, you know, be there. I could only stay there for my time frame and whatever. And I was super excited when I found this like fluorescent purple color.
So this is a Madeline Tosh as well?
Yes.
What's that one called?
I can't remember. I'll have to link it because the yarn band is at home.
Honestly, that purple is...
This is like my favorite color.
Perfect.
But the thing is, I was so excited about this color, I didn't realize that this was a lace weight yarn. And so I ended up having to hold it double because I needed a fingering weight yarn. And so I was so frustrated with myself because I scheduled this appointment, I knew what I needed, I knew what section I needed to look into, I knew what color I wanted, and then I was a total ding dong and got wrapped up in the color and came home with this. But I love it and I made it work.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
I'm super excited about this. I don't know if I said this shawl is by bmrBY. It is called Aria, and she has another version of this that's included when you purchase that pattern. And I can't recall the name, but it's a smaller version.
And how much more do you have to go on this?
I'm on the decrease, so this point right here is kind of the middle.
Okay.
And for anybody who knows me, I never knit anything 100% according to the pattern because that's just how I roll. So I kept knitting until I used almost half of the yarn because I knew, you know, that's what the intention was, to use the whole 200 grams. Mm-hmm. So I knit until there was like 60 grams left of the purple and 50 grams left of the silver gray color. And then I started the decrease.
Nice. Cool. And so this has alternating lace, just...
They're like an eyelet row.
And then a mosaic.
Slip stitch row.
A slip stitch, no, mosaic row. Cool.
I think it's going to be super beautiful and it's squishy and I think it'll be great for winter.
I think you'll wear this a lot. These are right up your alley.
Yeah.
Like, it almost matches, not quite. I thought this was going to be more of a purple.
I did too. I'm not really thrilled actually with how these shirts turned out because it was supposed to be this color.
Okay.
Lucy's supposed to have these color spots, but next time.
Yeah.
My second work in progress is these socks. I showed this guy last time, but I actually started the second one. I have not spent much time working on this, but I feel like I'm going to finish it in the next couple days. And I have probably 5 more socks that are second partner lists. So I'm trying to work on the whole second sock syndrome thing. And I just got the newest Jimmy Beans sock club kit, which I will do an unboxing. That'll be linked up here. And I also got the Lola club from Laura Nelkin, which I'll do an unboxing with, and I'm not sure what either one of those are going to be. So 2 more projects coming, hoping to get these both done this week.
And you had 2 acquisitions, but you're going to do separate videos for those.
Correct.
Oh, we have the one same acquisitions. Did you have any other acquisitions this month?
I bought a couple really cute little stitch markers from Aubrey at Knits and Knots. And anybody who knows me knows that I kind of love the macabre and anything that's a little bit dark. It's just right up my alley. Like when I was in medical school, they were begging me to stay in the forensics department because that's just my jam. So I got these 2 little guys and they're just so perfect. I wish I could just like walk around with these. Maybe they could be great earrings, but I love these and they're putting me in the right spirit for the season.
April and I are very different. She was like, well, you can have one if you want. And I was like, and she's like, you don't have to have one. I'm like, okay. Because a knife with blood on it, it's just not my jam. Okay, and then I have my last whip. Same whip as last week, and maybe you will laugh because it looks exactly the same as it did last week. Or last month, excuse me. This is my preview knit I'm working on for Brooklyn Tweed. It is made with shelter in the color cast iron. I am working on the ribbing. It is a totally different piece. I'm using a different progress keeper here. This is my Ariel progress keeper. Ariel is my, well, Ariel was my favorite princess growing up.
Me too.
So I have a really soft spot for Ariel. So I've got my Ariel progress keeper right there. So while it looks absolutely identical to where I was last month, it is not. I actually finished the entire back of the sweater.
Nice.
And it is in this super awesome bag. So this is my big acquisition. I think I may have ordered this bag at the beginning of July.
Oh, wow.
And I think it came at the beginning of September. It was a pre-order, so like that's fine.
I'm so excited about this bag. I saw it over in the corner and I was like, where did you get this?
And I was like,
need it.
I was saving that to show. But it is, first of all, it's huge. I have a back of a sweater and I think I put 6 wound balls that we wound up this morning in here. It's so pretty and fun. It is vinyl with sparkly stars and then an iridescent rainbow zipper.
And my favorite part was that she also used rainbow thread that matches with these zippers. I was very excited about that detail. And I also ordered these same zippers just coincidentally, like I have them here to show her.
She showed me and I was like, oh, that's the same as my new bag.
Yeah, but she didn't tell me that because she was saving it. But
I was saving it.
I was sneaking in the corner.
Yeah. So I ordered it from Black Pearl Magic. So here, I guess I tossed the card, but this is her other little insert that came with it. So we'll make sure to tag her, and I'll try to do an Instagram post to give her some. These have been very popular though. So I really like it. I also have to say, I really liked her favorite phrase she said on Instagram was thick thighs save lives.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I can get behind that. So I also ordered, and I've been saving it, this enamel pin.
That is so cute.
It is a yarn unicorn with purples and pinks as the horn. And a sticker. I never know what to do with stickers, but this is perfect. Again, hopefully it's focusing. I think it says, Alexa, make a gauge swatch. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm doing something with it because it's perfect, right? It's like, oh, that step I have to do or my sweater's not gonna fit. Yeah. So love it all. Now that I've showed this off on the on our podcast blog and April's seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my bag that I keep my enameled pins on, and I'm gonna find a place for my.
It is so cute.
Right. So cute. Everything about that. And it was in a black mailer with stars. Oh, perfect. Everything about it, perfect. So, thank you.
I would just have to throw this in here because we're talking about gauge swatches. Something that I love about Laura Nelkin is that since we're all using the same yarn, you don't have to wash your gauge swatch. Like, she gives you the gauge just to like match it, and then you rip it out and you can use the yarn. Like, I love that. The whole process of having to like gauge swatch, it's not my jam. I do it if I have to, if it's a garment. For anything else, it's just a make it work moment.
Well, and especially like with that special yarn, when it's part of a club, like there's a pro and a con, right? You only get what they send. So that's kind of a con. Right. But so you don't want to cut the yarn, especially like that tape yarn. Yes. I imagine those ends were a pain in the butt to weave in.
No clue, haven't done it.
Okay, yeah, like because you can't
because I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, you can't split the yarn, so that's gonna be a thing.
She has a tutorial on how to do it. I just like to do my own thing, so
yeah,
I'll get there.
You haven't got there yet. So, okay, do you want to talk about our other acquisitions that were the same? Because I think that's all the knitting, right?
Yeah, that's all the knitting since we're both trying to stay more streamlined.
And I didn't buy any yarn. And the yarn that you got that you're going to post about later was already paid for part of a club.
Yes. So we've both stayed to waiting for the yarn crawl, which at the time of filming, I believe we're the 18th of September or the 19th.
Yeah, today's the 18th.
It's like the yarn crawl should have been happening right now. So instead of it happening, it's postponed until next month, but they did release the swag. And so that's our next acquisition that we have to share with you.
Okay, before that, I think we need a high five of staying with our goals and saving our pennies and not bringing more stuff into our house.
Especially with everything that's been going on. Just like a quick snippet in our area, there's been rampant wildfires. Like Danielle's family has been really affected by the smoke. And then my in-laws, Danielle's parents, and my husband and myself were evacuated from our home in South Lake Tahoe because of the Caldor fire. So not only have we dealt with COVID and quarantine, we've also been evacuated from our homes and really impacted by wildfires.
Yeah.
So I'm extra proud of us for not turning to like shopping and spending to deal with this. And I think it's brought us a lot closer as a family.
Yeah. It's also, everybody's fine. The fires did an amazing job. If you've seen any of the coverage, I was one of the people who said there is no way they will ever let fire come into the basin. We've had a couple fires in the last about 15 years, I would say, one of which was the Angora fire. And I remember the moment it started because I was at my job. I was supervising, and it was the first time I was like leaving some teens unattended. They were like 18 and 19, and I jokingly said, don't put any foil in the microwave. And then, no joke, I'm leaving my work and there's a giant plume of fire, like a plume of smoke. So we've had fires, but the fires we've had, they started in the basin. The Caldor fires started miles away, probably 30 to 50 miles away.
Like completely at the other side of the county.
Yeah, and on the other side of the mountains, the Sierra Nevada mountains. And I was like, it'll never come. Well, it came. And it jumped over the ledge of Echo Summit and into Christmas Valley, and like it was the sparks or the embers came over and hit the forest on the other side. Yeah,
it jumped the highway. It was really scary. And I'm not a very emotional person, but when I was driving back into Tahoe 2 days ago, since our like mandatory evacuation was lifted, like seeing all of the like love and support that our community was giving to the firefighters and the first responders, like it really moved me.
Yeah.
Because there were so many signs like from Caltrans saying, welcome home Tahoe, like we're here for you. And so many like handmade, hand painted signs and posters thanking the first responders.
And they deserve all the credit because there was a fire in the basin and nobody's house was lost.
Yeah, like they did a great job.
A miracle.
And there's still a pretty large presence in our town. And being a tourist town, like you drive down like Tahoe Boulevard and all of the hotels have vacancies and there's like no traffic. And that's really scary and it's really heartbreaking because being a tourist town, we're always busy. And even during like COVID, our casinos in Nevada were open in limited capacity and our town was still thriving. And
more than thriving, there were too many people.
There was too many people. That's a whole separate issue. But our town was still thriving. We were still having people like visiting and coming in, and that was a whole separate thing that I'm not going to get into. But seeing the town so empty, like a ghost town on a Friday night, like it was pretty haunting. So I'm super thankful that no homes were lost and that they did such a great job. So thank you so much to everybody who helped.
Absolutely. Thank you. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. So on that note, the yarn crawl has been postponed. It was postponed by, I believe, 4 weeks. I think now it starts on October 14th. And obviously, we've been dealing with the fallout from the Caldor fire, but I don't even think Highway 50 is open yet.
No, it's still closed.
So that is the road that goes from Placerville into South Lake Tahoe, so on the south side of the lake. So if you're doing the yarn crawl and you have to drive around the lake or, you know, a different way, it's going to add at least an hour, if not more.
But there are stops along the way on the north side of the lake. I don't know if the one in Incline Village is participating this year.
I don't even know if they're still open.
I don't know if they're still open either, but there is a really cute place in Truckee, and you can take the road 26 to 50 into South Lake. And it's a really beautiful drive, so enjoy it for that.
And hopefully Highway 50 will be open by the time, you know, in 4 weeks' time. So, but they did release the swag for it. So April and I both got some yarn, some swag, and we ordered it from Tahoe Knits and Knots, wanting to support our local and our friend. So this is the, let's get it in the picture. This is the canvas tote. And when you buy the tote, I think it depends on where you buy it from, but I think everybody gets this giant safety pin, and then it comes with a stitch marker, and this is the Knits and Knots one. So you can see that this one has the yarn ball on it, the front, and then it says Knits and Knots on the back. And we were trying to decide what the material is. I'm thinking it's acrylic. I think it's painted acrylic now that I've thought about it and handled it a little bit more. I told my mom I wanted everything, so she bought me everything, including the poster. So I'm gonna have to find a place for the poster because I don't know that this is my husband's home decor jam. But I got the poster as well. I haven't even unrolled it.
Aubrey did a really great job packaging this up.
Yeah. Oh, and my child has already requested that the tube is his, so he'll be getting that. I might put that in my bedroom in my
in your corner by your chair. It's super cute.
Yeah.
And then the next item is this little Delicue yarn bag, and these were an item that they're exclusive to Jimmy Beans, I believe. But these were something that they used to sell under the brand Namaste, and I really love these snap top guys. I usually throw like 3 or 4 of these into a project bag.
Didn't you have one you were using?
I have this one. This one has the old Namaste on it. They've since changed their name to be more respectful for those who have an Eastern-based faith. But this was from like a red, white, and blue 4th of July. And this is for this year on the yarn crawl. These are really cute. I love these.
And I've never had one, so I'm really excited. And I like that it snaps because then you could pull the yarn out wherever you want. And there's no zipper to get stuck on.
Yes.
Got the needle gauge. It's an acrylic needle gauge.
It's very cute.
It's so cute, right?
I didn't get it because I didn't think I would ever use it, but it's really pretty to look at. I think it would be super cute to like tie yarn on it and like hang it from the wall.
I got my poster, but I'll use it. I have a needle gauge in like my Notions pouch, and then I have like one in my interchangeable needle pouch, and like this was the pin from last year's yarn crawl. I didn't do any yarn crawling last year because it was virtual and
life was happening.
Yeah, and part of it is the spending time with friends and actually going and touching. Like, I can buy stuff online like a champ.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't need any.
You can do a lot of damage in a very short time.
So I was like, well, if I want, it's not like I didn't buy yarn. Let's not pretend that. But it's like, if I want yarn, I'll buy whenever I want it. Not like, you know, because it wasn't as much of an event. So.
Do you have the little bag from last year?
Yes, and I also got the bag from last year.
Which I didn't buy, and now that I see Danielle's, I'm going to have to come swing by Aubrey's and grab that. So.
Yeah, by Tahoe Knits and Knots.
Tahoe Knits and Knots has this guy still, and I believe it's on sale. So if you think this is cute too, grab it from Aubrey.
Yeah.
And the final thing from this year's swag release is this super cute stitch marker set. I bought it because, like, who can ever have enough stitch markers? I make stitch markers and I still never have enough. I like find them all over the place in the vacuum, in the couch, in the car, wherever. But yeah, you never can have enough. So I figured I'd buy all these, and Aubrey did let me know that each location that you do stop by during the yarn crawl will give you this pin. So if you're not going to be able to make it, this is a really cute option to get a little pin stitch marker that matches or commemorates every shot.
And I just wanted them.
And the colors are super cute.
Yeah, I wanted them. I'm with you. I'm not gonna have too many stitch markers. And then lastly, I got a couple things from April. I got this Halloween themed bag. Anyway, it's skull twall. Let's hope it's twall, because that has some nice alliterative sounds there. I like the skull twall bag, and it has on the zipper pull this cute little jack-o'-lantern, and it has a matching holder that she used a zipper for. So that was from April. April made that at Lucy Links.
And just as a side note for Danielle, it's Halloween, but for me, it's all year.
Yeah,
because it's got skulls and it's macabre, and that's my jam.
Yeah, so I'll be using it till October 31st, maybe November 2nd. I'll go all the way to All Souls Day there. And then April got this for me, the skein coat. I actually don't have any. I have made some, but I've never used them. April uses them all the time on not every project, but on most of her projects. She has her yarn in this, and I am looking forward to using it. And I can see the benefit so much, because sometimes your ball is rolling around in your bag and it ends up getting like a little bit, not felted, a little bit pilly on the outside where it's like been rolling around your bag.
Or you have a cat who likes to chase it and bat it around. I mean, that's how we came up with the name Lucy Links. I always joke that Lucy loves yarn as much as we do. So I have to keep it in here to kind of keep it away from her.
Yeah.
And it has kitties. No, that one doesn't have kitties on it. It's bats and spiders.
And this is very traditional Halloween. This is the one I chose.
I have two more here. I'm just going to show them since you were showing those, but this is little kitties, which, like, who doesn't love kitties? Because Lucy is my child. Yeah. I mean, she doesn't love kitties.
I love Lucy.
But we love Lucy. And then I got this little, like, tarot card guy because it has a little kitty on it. And I love cats.
Yeah, and that one, I really like the colors on that as well. Like, that's just fun.
These I got from Aubrey at Knits and Knots also. She has a ton of them. I had a really hard time only buying 3. I needed all of them.
Okay. And then I have one thing. This will be our very specific knit picking section. I knit this sweater in the summer. Maybe let's pull it back because you can't even see the whole thing. In the summer of 2019. It is called Sailor Moon, and it is by Svetlana Volkova. It was an enjoyable knit. Let me say that. It is really interesting construction. Let me turn it around.
It's very pretty.
You start like a shawl right here. Right here. Okay, so you start right there as a shawl. You knit it out this way. Then you split for the sleeves, which essentially means you just split the shawl, and then you knit, or the front, you knit one side and then you knit the other side. And that you do until you get to, in this case for me, it was right here. So I got right here. And that is when it is the same length as the back. So then here, you can see that there's a line right here. I mean, this is so aesthetically pleasing, and it was so fun to knit. But you have this line right here where you pick up stitches along the top of like the shawl part, and then you have the two fronts, and you join them to knit in the round. And then you do knit, 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 the stripes, and then you do this fun feather and fan on the bottom.
Oh, that's super cute.
And it's like a twisted rib feather and fan. Okay, and then you pick up and you knit the sleeves, and you then do just like, I think a 2-row or 3-row edging for the neck. So there are a couple of problems. I'm gonna stand here so you can kind of get a better look at it. I'm wearing it over my overalls, so it's not exactly as flattering as possible. So the neckline looks cool right now while I have it on, and it fits as like a cropped type of sweater would. It's fine. However, the back, having that V shape right here, and no real shoulder seams or shaping to speak of, after you wear it for about 30 minutes, the neck rides up and up and up, and then it is choking you, like literally like pressed up, choking you, and then
oh my,
it looks like that. And this, in my opinion, is, first, I don't like being choked, and secondly, this is not a look I am comfortable wearing. It, like, if I didn't have overalls on and I wasn't wearing a top, you would probably be able to see the bottom of my bra, and that's something I'm cool with. So that's my personal preference. You wear whatever you want to wear, but really it's this choking. So like, while it's a super fun way to knit a sweater, like I really, really enjoyed the knitting, it doesn't fit well.
It doesn't work
It does not fit as a sweater at all. Like, I'm not going to be the only person who has this choking problem. Another kind of issue, it's not very size inclusive. I was the top size, which is fine. Not really, actually. I
feel like we're pretty average size.
Yeah, I am exactly average. I am 5'4" and wear like a 14, 16, like an extra large. That is what the typical American woman wears. So I'm like exactly in the center. So when I'm the largest,
there's an issue.
Yeah. And like, also, like, besides the fact that it's just like garbage, like, you would sell way more if I was the middle size, since I am the average, right? Whatever. And then the second issue here, I'm gonna stand up and get real close so you can see, is the yarn. Okay, this black yarn, now, oh, it's focusing really well, looks awful.
I thought it was a gray, like, tweed yarn.
Yeah, that's because it's like a lint magnet / the color isn't working well. So this looks awful. I hate it. I've probably worn this 5 times because every time it chokes me, and it looks this bad.
I thought this was like a tried and true guy that was a go-to.
Because it chokes me.
Right.
Okay, but look at the arm right here. Maybe it'll focus. There we go. Do you see how clean that black yarn looks? That's what it should look like, right? Black, blacky black, clean, not grossly fuzzed up. So that is the black. The variegated yarn is, I'm totally happy with this. The variegated yarn was from Rachel Unraveled. I don't know
Rachel
what
Rotten.
Yeah.
Loden.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rachel, I'm not sure to pronounce your last name.
It was from
Designs.
her, yeah. And she had a table at Jimmy Bean's one day, and she had 2 of the same skeins, and so I bought them both, and I wanted to use them because I love the yarn.
It's beautiful.
So her yarn is great. The black yarn is seriously problematic. So the black yarn is Cascade Heritage Silk.
I just spent quite a bit of money, well, not just, about a year ago, and I knit a tank top in that, and the process of knitting it picked up so many fuzz balls, and it looked like garbage, and I spent very close to $100 on yarn to knit this tank top, and it's like in a ball somewhere because I was so unhappy.
Okay, so we've not had this conversation, right?
Yes.
This is the first time we're having this conversation. So this yarn here is Cascade Heritage Silk. This yarn I probably bought 15 years ago.
It's very expensive because I feel like it comes in 25 gram.
No, this is the sock yarn with silk. So it's not that expensive. It's probably, I would say regular Cascade Heritage is maybe like 15-ish.
Yeah.
I don't remember. 15-ish a skein, and this is probably like 20-ish a skein. But this yarn on the sleeve was 15 years old, and I had run out of this yarn, and that was fine. I knew I had at least a half a ball. I run out of this yarn with the terrible feather and fan here on the bottom. Excuse my my dog got my old dog got her claw pulled on there. But this is awful.
Yeah.
It looks terrible. Like their quality is like clearly gone down over the last 15 years. Like, I'm not going to speak to like some political stuff I heard, like, because I'm not 100% sure and I haven't fact checked that. But this here is enough for me not to want to buy Cascade, which is frustrating because I have a sweater that I made out of Cascade 220 that I've worn a ton and it's held up pretty well. I have another one that's made out of Cascade Eco Wool and it's held up really well.
And
like,
one of my favorites is their alpaca blend, like chunky yarn. I've made a bunch of blankets out of it. I've made like beanies and cowls and shawls out of it. But like after I spent so much money on a tank top for their mulberry silk, and
it was the silk,
which
it's maybe the same problem.
Yeah, it looks very similar to what Danielle showed you on this feather and fan.
Like, it's just super frustrating. So, like, while I really, really enjoyed the knitting process, like, it was a super fun way to make a sweater, it doesn't fit actual bodies. Like, I cannot possibly be the only one that it chokes because there's just, like, no shaping and nowhere to, like, tell the sweater how to sit on your body, right? It's not like it's a circular yoke where it kind of just falls, or, like, a raglan where you've got like some shoulders. Like I wanted to show this so everyone could see it out in the world because it's quite pretty from afar.
Yes.
Like I really enjoyed the knitting, but I am going to chop off the black, throw it away or use it for stuffing or something. I'm not keeping the black. It's awful. I'm not going to be buying Cascade probably again. Definitely not the Cascade Heritage Silk. The old stuff.
For me.
Yeah. And then I'm going to reskein the variegated, and
because it's super beautiful,
super pretty. Like, and it's not the variegated that is the problem in this sweater. So I'm gonna reskein it and reuse it. It'll probably go in stash for a while before I have some concrete plans for it, especially because it's gonna be like in 6 pieces now.
Right.
So yeah, that's my nitpicking for today. Oh, and then the last thing before we say our goodbyes, the shawl that I have featured on the wall today is actually, we can't see the very top of it, but it's actually more like a wide scarf, kind of like wrapish, I would say.
I will link it to Danielle's Ravelry so you can see some better pictures of it, and if you send me some, I'll post a picture up here.
Okay, so it is called the Festival of Stitches, and it was by Lisa Hannis, and I think, I want to say it was a knit along in the spring of 2020. So I want to say I started this maybe before COVID, and then this was like some lockdown knitting. It was super fun.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, it was super fun. So here you use, it's supposed to be 3 colors. I didn't have, it was a stash buster for me. I used stuff I had in my stash. So I started here with the blue and the black, and then I used the hot magenta-ish, just really bright magenta. And then, so I did those with the baubles, and then I used the magenta on either side. You like knitted, you knit this as like clue 1, and then you knit that as clue 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever it was. It was really fun. So then here there's some like really basic eyelet lace, and then this is some mosaic knitting, and this here is inverted over here, and then some basic cables, and then like It looks like a teardrop. It's just a knit and purl texture, really. And then some ribbing on the end. And it is probably my most worn shawl. And it may have never been worn outside of the house because it's like a wide scarf. So it's probably like this wide.
Yeah, it's no more than 18 inches at most.
Yeah, so it is perfect to wrap around your neck and then like make a hood. And so where I usually sit and knit in my living room is right, like we have a couch pushed up against a window and there is a slight draft right there. And so when it's cold in the winter,
and it gets very cold
yeah,
here.
like when it's cold in the winter, I can feel it on the back of my neck. So like, I don't remember, my husband called it something really funny, like my knitting balaclava or my knitting hood or something, because it's like my go-to on the couch. And he'll come back and it's like 9:30 at night and I've got like my knitting hood on. Like, I'm really enjoying myself.
You're like a little baba.
Yeah. I'm really like, and it's perfect. So I wear this all the time. I love it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you for sticking this long with us. If you've made it to the end, thank you for spending your time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Please subscribe. Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.